Hello and welcome everyone to the Athabasca University's Doctorate in Business Administration or DBA webinar. My name is Farid Nordin and I'm the Manager of Strategic Recruitment and Enrollment at Effective Business. Before we get started today, I just want to make sure that you can see the screen and you can hear me okay. You can let me know by typing in a few words in the questions box on your screen, just to ensure that you can hear me and you can see the title slide before we start. So yeah, if you pop your question box on the screen, just type in a few words, then it'd be great. I don't see any responses yet. I'm just gonna maybe ask a few people to type in. Oh, sorry. Okay, thank you, Darcy. Appreciate that feedback. And there's nothing worse than speaking and your microphone is on mute or something, right? So okay, great. So again, thanks for joining us today. Before we get started, I just want to have an acknowledgement that Athabasca University is Canada's online university, and we are proud to welcome a diversity of learners all over Canada. We respectfully acknowledge that we live and work on the traditional lands of the Indigenous peoples of Canada, and we honor the ancestry, heritage, and gifts of Indigenous peoples and give thanks to them. As we gather today, I'm in Treaty 6 territory, which encompasses 17 First Nations, including the Dene Suline, Cree, Nakota Sioux, and Saulteaux peoples. And our panelist today, Dr. Haider Alvi, is in Toronto, I believe it's the Algonquin area. And also Donna Hart, who's our academy advisor, is also from Treaty 6. So feel free to share where you are listening in from in the chat or in the question box. Okay, so here's the agenda for today. I'll briefly go through the overview of Athabasca University in Effective Business. Haider will go through in depth about the DBA program, the nuances of it, and what is expected of you as a student, primarily around your research areas, and then I'll take over again, talk about admission requirements and the application process, and and we will go through some question and answers as well. Okay, before we get started, just wanted to remind folks that you can download this presentation by going to the handout section on your screen. There's a little box on your screen that says handouts. You can download this PDF onto your desktop, onto your device right now, so you don't really have to you can take notes as you go along if you wish. So the PDF is available for you. So about AU, we are Canada's Open University with over 43,000 learners in over 980 courses. We are one of the 4 comprehensive academic research universities, or CARU, in Alberta. So we are one of the 4. And in terms of accreditations and recognition of your degree from Athabasca University, we report to the Government of Alberta, Ministry of Advanced Education. So we are a public university recognized by the Government of Alberta. We also have the international stamp of approval for business schools, the Advanced Collegiate Schools of Business, or ASSB, which only 6% of the top world schools received this prestigious recognition. We're also a member of the Executive DBA Council, or EDBAC. A quick history about the program. We were the first to launch an online English DBA program in 2009. The program is designed to have direct impact on your organizations based on your own research areas of interest. In terms of the DBA, it is a leading edge research and management real world experience program, where you're not talking about the theory, but more like applied research in areas of management and business administration. Our program is delivered asynchronously, so you do have access to the learning platform 24/7, which makes it really great for you to collaborate with your peers and your coaches across Canada and across the world. And again, the program is focused on a practical application of research to managerial settings, to prepare graduates for either potentially careers in academia or as a consultant or in your own organizations. We do have a few alumni who actually have taken this program and are now working in their own organizations, such as banks, to promote what they have done their research on. Okay, so why AU? We are a world leader in open online distance education. We are pioneers in the digital learning environment. The flexibility and support from professors, coaches, and admin staff is at your disposal. The ability to balance your work and life and study, that's I think is important, especially that this program is designed for the adult learners. That's a lot of our online programs are designed for the adult learners. Therefore, that balance of work and life and study is very important to us. The reputation of AU, I mean, we have done this since 1970 as a distance learning institution based in Athabasca, Alberta. And for those who are listening from overseas, if you desire to have a Canadian degree that is recognized in Canada and internationally, then AU is the best choice for you because you don't have to leave your home country to earn your Canadian degree. We also, for the faculty business, we have the following collaborations and partnerships, such as with the CPA Canada, Supply Chain Management, and College of Health Leaders. Okay, I'm just going to take a look at the screen here. No questions so far. That's great. And I'm going to move on. So here's a profile of our DBA learners. Currently, we have about 451 students in a program. And since the program's inception, we have produced 54 DBA alum. So since 2009, we now have 54 DBA alumni. The average age of our students for this program, because it is a doctorate program, is around 47, and the age range is between 32 and 65 years old. And in terms of where they are or where our students are, 40% do work in the private sector, 30% in government and nonprofit, or some of them have retired, and that speaks to the lifelong learning of our university, the mission of promoting lifelong learners. And the remainder of our students do work in colleges or universities or in academia. The attrition rate here is 29%, which is still above the normal doctorate degree attrition, which is around 50%. So students who have started the program with us, they do tend to stay until the end or until they graduate. And the gender ratio is between 57% male and 43% female. And here's a snapshot of our largest graduating class or graduated class of 2018. So that's the most that we have in 1 year. Okay, now I'm going to see. I'm going to turn over to Haider. We're going to take you step by step into the DBA program itself. Starting from the wider DBA, DBA versus PhD, the research and all of that. So I'm going to turn off my camera and I'm going to hand over the presentation to Haider. And Haider, you're up.
Okay, thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you well, Haider.
Okay, great. Well, like many of you, I came from industry before I did a PhD, so I'm aware of what a doctorate can do, built on top of managerial experience. So really three reasons why AU DBA. The first is uh, professional credibility. Your capabilities that you already have as a manager will be enhanced in terms of the credibility that you'll have having done in-depth research on an area that you're engaged in, that you're interested in. You'll have new insights that you'll be able to bring to bear. I have certainly found that true for myself as I do consulting work and sit on boards or whatnot. You will also become a subject matter expert. So what you think of as being an expert right now will change because when you do a DBA, you are engaging in original research. So you'll investigate a question you don't already have the answer to, but you'll have all the managerial expertise to come up with a good question and work with a supervisor to go deeper into your area of interest and personal development, in terms of contributions, not only to your business or to government, but also to society more broadly. And what's different about a DBA versus a PhD? So in a PhD, um, contributions to theory are pretty important, that you're trying to not just look at a question and answer it, but then say theoretically, this is a new thing. Whereas a DBA does what we do, basically the exact same thing as a PhD, but the emphasis is more on managerial implications. That can we find uh, a relevant application of our research to something, a real world issue, but it's based on field-based research. So now a little more on uh, research. Unlike other programs, the DBA program is really based on you. It's your interest, your particular area that you want to explore more. Other programs, like PhD programs, frequently you're kind of working with a professor on their ideas and what they want to do. But here, you're the center of attention. Um, so it will have to be scholarly. It'll have to be a question you don't already have the answer to, but it will be your interests that dominates. You will have a three-person supervisory committee consisting of a direct supervisor and some subject matter experts who've done research in your particular area. Um, and it's typically field-based, related to practice, and just a huge variety of topics, everything from finance to accounting to marketing, strategy. It's critical management studies, thinking about the world we live in terms of geopolitics, all of these things in the transnational sphere. There's a huge range of topics you can do. So in terms of learning outcomes, as I've already referenced, you're going to expand your competencies in management research, so something practical and applied. Um, be able to assess and evaluate management research. As managers, we read an article and we say, "Oh, that's really good. That's really interesting." Well, by the time you finish the DBA, you'll look at that same article and say, like, I'm not sure there's something really behind that or not. You'll be able to make that evaluation. You'll improve your critical thinking capabilities, and this is because a DBA, scholarly research, isn't journalism. It's not just I have an opinion or I'm going to tell my story, but rather it's about saying, here's a question I don't know the answer to, and I'm finding data and I'm researching it, and now I have an answer. So it's something new, and that improves your critical thinking. Um, Conducting scholarship on management practice. So it's meant to be practical. It's meant to be applied, quite often related to what you're doing in your career. You'll learn how to communicate your research findings and the outcomes, create new solutions to business and organizational problems. Um, and yeah, so you know, the satisfaction that comes from doing higher level learning is a new thing, right? When you do a doctorate, you haven't done it before, so that also is an advantage. So in terms of the program structure, in the first year, there's an orientation where we all meet in person in Edmonton, and that's all cohorts. So you'll meet some of the older students. You're going to be the new cohort, and you'll hear each other present your research ideas. So the advanced students will present their research that's in progress. You'll present your ideas. So it's a great way to acculturate yourself and learn, sort of see where you're going to end up. Um, and you take three courses in the first year, 800, which is uh, conceptual foundations in organizational research. It's really like a whole new world in terms of theory and like, you know, most people take it like, wow, I had no idea that all this work is done. You'll take 801 current research, which is a course that I teach, which is about formulating your research question and making sure that it addresses a gap in the literature, and then extend that in 802, managerial research and practice. So actually writing up something that you know is capturing that. In year two, you'll take quantitative and qualitative methods and begin some advanced readings in your area of interest. And in year three, a research workshop in Edmonton again. Second year as well. And you start working on your dissertation proposal, and there's an exam around that. So you're more advanced in terms of really bringing your thesis to life, the research that you're going to do. So in terms of what you can expect, the commitment to the program is about 25 to 30 hours a week in years 1 and 2. And that's mostly focused around coursework, as was mentioned on the previous slide. The courses are 10 weeks long, delivered online, so very convenient, but a lot of interaction between the students as you're doing those online courses. There's the 1 week orientation at the start of each year, years 1 to 3, and the research conference and workshop in years 2 and 3, where you actually present your research, and collaborative learning. There's a lot of interaction between your fellow students and the professor. When I teach 801, it's just, I love it. It's I get to engage with people's ideas that are quite often different than my own area of research. So you really learn about different things, and you learn about each other as people. And best of all, you get to pursue your own research interests, something that you're really interested in.
Okay, thanks, Haider. Also, I just want to mention that the program, I'm just going to go back to that slide, but the program structure is that the average time of completion is 5 years, and that you have up to 7 years to complete the program from the start date.
Oh, thanks, Farid. Sorry, I missed that.
No worries. Okay, so what does it take to get admitted into the program? First of all, you either we do need either an MBA or equivalent master's degree from an accredited university. And what we mean by equivalent master's degree, the master's degree should be around management or administration, or something to do with business. If your master's degree, I say, from engineering or pharmacy, that will be up to the DBA committee to decide, but it has to be, you know, kind of like an MBA program. That's what is the first requirement. Another requirement is acceptable university level course in statistics. So a pure stats course is required, especially in year 2, where you'll be doing the qualitative research methods. So we do need that stats course in pure stats to be fulfilled before you do that course in year 2. And we do offer at AU monthly stats courses at the undergraduate level that you can enroll anytime before you even apply to the DBA program. So those courses are the Math 215 or Math 216 or the MGS 301. So those are the pure stats courses. Also, another requirement is the expression of research interest between 500 to 1,000 words. So this is where you get into the not details, but to provide some scope to the DBA admissions committee about your area of interest in the research, and also to kind of show them that you had done your own research on the topic and why that's important for you. So you can get more of this information actually on our website. So again, if you download the presentation right now, the blue links you see are linkable to our website with more information. 5 or more years of significant managerial or professional work experience, 3 reference letters, preferably 2 business reference letters and 1 academic. If you're again applying with an international degree, we do require the degree to be evaluated first to make sure that it is has a Canadian equivalency and English language proficiency if the your master's was not done in English. We only have 1 intake a year, which is September start date, and the application deadline is March 15th every year. So that's why we're doing this webinar now, so that you can get ready and prepare for your application by March 15th, the deadline. We do not require the GMAT or the GRE scores for this program. In terms of academic instruction and supervision, all of our professors, our coaches are either PhD or DBA qualified. We have faculty members and supervisors from all around the world. So depending on the area of research that you want to do, just the supervision can be from that body of faculty and supervisors. And again, as Heide mentioned, it is your research is specific to your area of interest or your topic, and AU will involve the supervision and committee members that have expertise in your research area. Another good tip is for you to start looking into our research faculty at the Faculty of Business. So we do have 4 kind of areas of research, which is in accounting and taxation, economics, finance, and operations management, marketing, entrepreneurship, and information systems, and organizational analysis. So these are actually great for you to do a bit of a homework to figure out which of the faculty members in those areas or disciplines that can potentially be your supervisor. So it's always good to identify those faculty members, maybe in your expression of research interest, so that they can help you in your application. Okay, so in terms of DBA application process, I'm just going to click on the link and take you to the website because there's more information there. Give me 1 minute. And while I do that, there's a question from Mohammed here. I'm just gonna go to the question, Mohammed. Give me 1 minute. Okay, your question is on-site orientation or research. How many days does it take? Great question, Mohammed. For the on-site orientation and research, is the first year is normally like 5 days, so Monday to Friday. So students will normally get into Edmonton, Alberta by Sunday evening. There will be a dinner, and then you're up and running on the first, which is a Monday, all through Friday. Years 2 and 3, depending on the workshop schedule, again, you're required to be in Edmonton, Alberta from Monday to possibly Thursday or Friday, so depending on the schedule. So yeah, so those are the 5 days that you're required to be on site. The rest of the time it is done asynchronously. So here's the link to the DBA application process. As you can see, by clicking on the links, you have more detailed information of what is expected of you for your application package, your reference letters. There's some guidelines here as well. This is where I think is quite important for you to really pay attention at for the expression of research interests, because this is the only place that you can really express your desire to do the DBA with us and to provide some explanation of your interest in the topic and why you believe doing this research is important. And also, like I said, by looking at the past dissertations and doing your own research on the topic that you're proposing to do, this can also help the committee to better make a selection for your application. So yeah, so for sure, go through this application process. If you have any questions, feel free to let us know. Okay, so with that, I'm gonna go. So yeah, this is a snapshot of the screen of the website. And here's a recent quote from our DBA candidate 2024. He received an award from AU based on his work. So David's focus is on mental health at work and how his doctorate program is shaping on his research. So that's really interesting piece of story that we did recently, and you can again access it on our website. So pretty much we are here for you in terms of your success team, from core faculty members, academic coaches, graduate enrollment advisors. I know Donna is currently online as well to help you answer any questions you may have about the admin side of the program. And she can also give you some tips about financial aid or funding, which is really important. We also have a dedicated IT help desk team and course development production. You have access to the library as well as part of our student alumni relations journey. So you're part of an ecosystem that is here to help you out. Doing this program online doesn't mean that you're doing it in a vacuum. So just be sure that we are here for you to ensure that you're successful. So here are some just links about the program, from program fees, graduate funding, program regulations, academic schedule, admission requirements. I'm not going to go through each one of them, just given the time factor, and also again, if you have any questions, just let us know. Maybe this is a good time. I'm going to turn to Donna, and maybe Donna can talk about financial aid and what kind of process that you should look out for when applying for the program. Donna, I think you're muted. Go ahead, Donna.
Hi, I'm Donna Hart. I'm, as Fareed mentioned, I am the academic advisor for all the students in the DBA program. And I'm one of the first ones that touches your application. I make sure it's all ready for the review and that everything has been received. There is a cap placed on the number of applications we can accept this year, or for any year for that matter. So I never know what the reasons are if a student has not been accepted, but if you are accepted into the program and you are going to look into student funding, once you receive notification that you've been admitted and you've submitted your offer package back to me, you need to start looking and possibly applying at that time for your financial aid. In most cases at the graduate level, be it in the MBA or the DBA program, students may have to be prepared to make the first tuition payments or the program fee payment out of pocket, and then get reimbursed back from their check from financial aid. This is only because they will not receive the financial aid in time to meet our payment deadlines.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And there's a lot of other supports that the AU has, as mentioned here on the website as well. So if at any time you have any questions, yes, by all means, please reach out to me. That's what I'm here for, and I can try and make your entry into the program as seamless as possible.
Great. Thank you, Donna. Yeah, that's a good point about ensuring that you do have the funds to, pay for the application fee, which is non-refundable. And should you get accepted in the program, there's an admissions fee as well, which is also non-refundable. So those two fees are already upfront. And then, like Donna mentioned, be prepared to pay for at least one or two courses when you get accepted, because the financial funding can be different from province to province. So just be prepared. You can also take a loan out from your RSP as part of the lifelong learning plan. So that's an option for self-financing, or you can approach the banks for a low interest loan for you to do the program. So there's other ways that you can help to get you started, right? Once you're in the program and once you are the funding set, then it's easier. But we're just trying to caution you just at the beginning. So just be ready for that. Thank you, Donna. Appreciate it. Okay, so let's see. Feel free to connect with us. Feel free to check out those stories that I mentioned, either from David Newman, or we have another one here from a DBA grad who's into running and volunteerism. So another great story of what our DBA students and alumni have done. Connect with us on our social media channels, including YouTube. We have some videos from our students. So yeah, keep in mind the deadline is March 15th, 2025 for the September start date. And again, those links you see on the screen are clickable to the website from the application process to our FAQ or frequently asked questions. Okay, with that, come to the end of presentation. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to email us at business-support@athabascau.ca. Again, our email is business-support@athabascau.ca, or give us a call at 1-800-561-4650. Again, our toll-free number is 1-800-561-4650. And remember to download the PDF by going to the handout section on your screen. Okay, I have a question here from Darcy. What were the courses that AU offers to meet the stats requirement? Great question, Darcy. I'm going to bring you back to that slide. So here it is. It's Math 215 or Math 216 or MGSC 301. So those are the three options for you to get your stats requirements in, preferably before you apply, so that at least you have that out of the way, and that can be part of your application. I believe the pure stats requirement is within 10 years. So if you had done pure stats in your undergraduate, for example, that's more than 10 years. Unfortunately, you do need to take a refresher course in those courses I mentioned, just because of that time frame. Maybe I'll ask Donna. Donna, do you have anything to add about the stats course requirements?
I do. When students are applying to the program, we do ask that you submit all post-secondary transcripts. So that will include your undergraduate transcript as well. And this is where I look to see if a student has taken an undergraduate research course. And then I will compare it to what we've already accepted at the university. And if we've accepted it, then I make note of that in your application when I forward it on to the review committee. If not, once students have been approved for admission, I'm usually told at that time which of the applicants will be required to complete the undergraduate research course. So like Fareed said, you can either take it prior to applying, but there again, you do so with the knowledge that you may not be admitted into the program, even if you have taken the course.
Right.
And if you are later accepted for admission and you have taken it, good. It's one less thing you can take off your plate later. But yeah, I will, if you haven't taken one, I will let you know. And I'll give you all the information you need on how to go ahead and apply to one of our courses, or you can take it from another university. That's up to you. We'll just need the official transcript for it once you've completed it, and there is a timeline in which to complete it.
Yeah, thank you, Donna. Yeah, you answered one of the questions here. Can we take the stats course at another university? Absolutely, you can, as Donna mentioned. So yeah, just make sure that the transcripts is part of your application package. Okay, another question.
But just ensure that that undergraduate research course you are taking deals with both the qualitative as well as the quantitative research methods.
Because you need both, right? Because of these two courses that you'll be doing in the DBA, the 804 and the 803.
Yes.
Year two, yeah. Okay, cool. All right, all right, all right. So another question here. I've requested for certificates to be mailed out, but not sure when it will reach AU by Canada Post. Is it possible to accommodate such cases? I don't know. I think Donna question. Do you have a? Well, hopefully the Canada Post strike will be resolved sooner rather than later. And again, yeah, what happens if it gets pushed out? Donna,
Okay.
do you have an idea?
Yes, it depends on where your transcripts are coming from. If they're coming from a university within Canada, 9 times out of 10, they can be sent through MyCreds. Okay, so you can check the university and see if they are a member of MyCreds and whether or not your transcripts can be shared that way. If they're international transcripts, you won't be able to get official ones. Like I said, number one, yes, you will need to have either an IQOS or a WES assessment. We do ask for a course by course evaluation because they use, well, when they send us the results, they usually will include a copy of your transcripts along with that.
Right.
If you don't go by the course by course and just go with the basic assessment, that all tells us just what its equivalency is with no content, then you will be required to submit official transcripts. If you can't get it to us because of the mail strike, if you have a copy of them, we can accept them as unofficial, but if you're later approved for admission, you will only be given conditional admission pending the receipt of the official transcripts.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
the best thing, if you aren't getting, if the transcripts are international and you have to have an evaluation completed, please make sure you are requesting the course by course evaluation, because that, although it's a little bit more expensive from what I gather, it
Yeah.
does stop the need of you having to submit copies of your transcript on your, for you
Yeah.
having to submit them rather than us getting them from the evaluators.
Yeah. Very good. Yeah. So for sure, if you have international evaluation, the course by course or the full evaluation is what is highly recommended. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Donna. I have a question here. I think this is more for Haider. The question is, wondering why is there a limit of only 10 candidate enrollments into the DBA at AU? Kai, Haider, do you want to answer the question, please?
That's a good question. I think it's mostly driven by the professors available
Yeah.
to provide quality supervision. So we're not a huge faculty, so we want to be sure that the DBA students who come in are kind of well cared for, that they have proper supervision. I think that's the main reason.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so too, Haider, because of again, I mean, like you said, the faculty is not big, but we do have those areas of multidisciplinary research areas that you can always identify who you think can be a supervisor from AU. And I know that some cases we do have supervisors outside of AU, but I think we do want to try to contain it within the university. So yeah, so that's why we have that cap. And also, I think another reason too just makes the DBA a bit more prestigious, right? Because it's a highly competitive program. So yeah, so your research topic needs to be really good.
Well,
Okay.
I will also add that
Yeah.
I enjoy getting to know my students personally, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that creates a longer term kind of association
Yes.
as someone with a doctorate. And, unlike an MBA, lots of MBAs come through, but you don't really stay in touch with them. But the
Yeah.
smaller DBA cohort means it's a little more, yeah, kind of, you have good relationships being formed between faculty and students that
Yeah.
benefit both sides, over time, depending on the research people do and that sort of thing.
For sure. Yeah, and then we don't want to, just have you come in and know you by numbers, right? So we really want to know you at that a bit in-depth level as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, another question here. How do we ensure our research topic is unique and not already researched on? Good question. We do have a website, Asma, that you can look at on previous DBA dissertations. So if you click on the link, you'll be able to see some of the past topics. So, and also this can also be a good learning mechanism to see how this previous alumni have done their research, how they tailor it. So this just gives you some idea. So I don't know, do you have any other suggestions? Yeah, go ahead.
Fareed, can I comment on that?
Yes, please.
Yeah, so by the time you're in 801, the second course, you have to come up with a research question and also review literature. So you're trying to answer a question that hasn't already been asked, and you will learn how to review literature, survey the literature around your topic of interest, and yeah, clearly there's no point in doing a doctorate on a question that's already answered. That would kind of defeat the purpose. So you as students will cross that bridge early in your first year.
Mm-hmm. But also, there's on the same token, Hyder, what would you recommend for those who are applying, especially when they're doing their expression of research interest essay? So they're not in a program yet, but they want to make sure that their research interest essay is good and what the committee looks for.
Yeah, that's a great question. I've been on the admissions committee for years, and I would say that on the committee, we're not looking, we know that you haven't started the program yet, right?
Right.
And what we're looking for is a real curiosity about the issue and an articulation of why coming to terms with that, why understanding that is important. And once you begin in the program, then that becomes fine-tuned. And
Yeah.
quite often, your initial interest is a stepping stone to something else that you didn't even realize at the time. So it's part of the journey.
Yeah. Great. Thank you. Okay. Well, you're welcome, Asma. Thanks for the great questions. Everybody has great questions here. I love it. It's great. Anything else before we wrapped up? I know that we have a bit more time, but again, if the purpose of this webinar is to answer your questions in real time. So again, if you have any questions for Hyder or Donna regarding the program, structure of the program, or the admission process, this is a great time to ask them. We have the experts online. So, okay. Maybe before we wrap up, maybe I'm just gonna ask Donna to see whether there's anything else you'd like to add, Donna. So feel free before we wrap up. Any advice? Yeah, go ahead.
The only advice I can start giving you, if you are seriously considering applying for the DBA program for the 2025 intake, start making arrangements now to have your letters of reference submitted, all your transcripts submitted, even if you haven't even begun your application yet. I do have an area where I keep all of your records. So as soon as they come in, they're put into this area, into this file. And once you apply to the program itself, then I just put everything together and then it's ready for review. So yeah, time now is to start getting your letters of reference and all your transcripts ready to be sent.
Yeah, so in other words, don't wait until March 1st. Start compiling the information now, right,
Yes,
Donna?
thank you. Yes, most definitely. I mean, you can submit the actual application on March 1st if you want,
Yes,
but start working now to have all the accompanying documentation submitted.
right. All the different pieces. Yeah.
Yeah,
Especially, I
especially
think,
if you need a transcript review, like for an international transcript, because that could take up to 8 weeks, the longest complete by the evaluating company.
yeah, and also I believe the letters of reference too, right, Donna? Because sometimes you cannot just ask people to like rush and then and to do your
Yeah.
reference. So that too, I think, is an important piece.
Exactly, and I mean, you can ask them, but you can't really stand over them with a whip trying to get them to send it out. So
That's
if
right.
you put it into their mind now, give them a deadline. Like, don't give them a March 15th deadline, but
Yeah.
maybe give them a February 28th deadline that
Yeah.
it needs to be submitted. You can always check with me to see if it comes in, and I can let you know. So if it's not in yet, you can throw a little light under the fire and stuff to get them to submit it. But yeah, now would be the time to start working on all that.
Okay. Great. So actually, you have a follow-up question here, Donna. When do we know if our application is accepted? Because as people do apply to other programs at other universities. So March 15th is the application deadline. So we close the application. So when do students normally know that they're accepted?
I have been notified between the 3rd and the 4th week of April. So once I'm notified, then I start sending out the notifications. I will not send them to you. Like, if you call me, I'm not going to tell you over the phone whether or not you've been admitted.
Right.
So I will only be sending out the notifications once I receive word from the admission review committee. But like I said, that's usually towards the end of April, beginning of May, that
Okay.
the notifications will be going out.
Right. So that's good to know. End of April, early May is when you know that you're into the program. Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, Haider, any last words before we wrap up for the day?
Yeah, I would just,
Words of encouragement.
can you hear me?
Yes, yes, go ahead.
Yeah. I would just applaud all of you for your interest in doing this, coming to an information session and considering this possibility. It's the rare individual who has experience working as a manager, having had a career, and wanting to do something like this to expand your own knowledge and horizons and maybe have even a greater impact on your job, on society, even on research. So, thank you. And I hope you apply and for those of you who are admitted, I look forward to meeting you in person.
Great. Thank you so much. Well, thank you both, Donna and Haider, for your time and your great insights. Our listeners do appreciate it. I'm seeing here lots of athletes to say thank you for this very informative session. So that's great. Thank you again for those who attended today. And again, if you have any questions, next day or week or month or so before the application deadline, feel free to contact us at business-support@athabascau.ca. That's our email, business-support@athabascau.ca, or give us a call at 1-800-561-4650. Again, our toll-free number is 1-800-561-4650, and we are more than happy to help you and answer your questions. So with that, thank you again for attending. Have a great day. Happy holidays, and we hope to see your application in March. Bye, everyone.